Now we will start with orientation session for General Studies program at Vishnu Academy, and leaving those things aside first for a brief of 5 to 10 minutes we will discuss about UPSC, because this is more important. Now wherever you will be taking coaching, or else will you be taking coaching or not, you will be doing self study, all that is secondary. Before starting with your preparation, you need to know why of your preparation. Yeah. So first I will be dealing with about what is this UPSC, why there is a lot of attention over this UPSC, and if you want to clear this exam in the first attempt, what are the major things you have to do, and along with that, since my major subject domain is science and technology and current affairs, I will be telling briefly about them, how you have to cater to them, right, and how we will be supporting you, and how you yourself also have to cater with respect to those subjects. Right. So first of all, starting with this UPSC Civil Services Examination. UPSC Civil Services Examination. Civil Services Examination. Although by the name it seems like it is just an examination, but it is not at all that thing. There is a lot of difference with respect to other exams in the country and UPSC's Civil Services Examination. If you have to say them, we have CAT examination, GATE examination, NEET, JEE, or else different examinations. All those are with the motive of profit maximization. But only exam in the country which will be promoting the welfare of the society. Plus to serve the mankind, serve the society, with these two twin goals. In India, civil services has been started. That's why even the name itself, civil, means the public, services means to serve the public. To serve the public. So, Government of India post independence although we had these IAS, IPS sort of thing before our independence also, but the work culture of those services is different, and in fact nomenclature is also different. If you have to start from our independence times, we had this IAS, IPS, IRS and all. The major framework is to work among these two twin goals: welfare of the society and to serve the society, right? So, Government of India had given the work of recruitment of those people who want to perform these two things to UPSC. This is Union Public Service Commission. This body, which is also a constitutional body, will be dealing with the examination related to the civil services examination, civil services and all. Now, this UPSC not only keeps this exam, other exams will also be kept by UPSC, but this is the major flagship program of UPSC. Okay. Now, having seen the birth of this civil services examination, we will further see what are the different positions one can get by achieving this rank in UPSC Civil Services Examination. There are around more than 22 services, some of them to name: IAS, Indian Administrative Service; IPS, Indian Police Service; IRS, Indian Revenue Service; Income Tax, IRS Customs; Indian Postal Service; Indian Trade Service; Indian Information Service; Indian Defence Account Service; Indian Defence Estate Service; Indian Railway Traffic Service. Like this, we have different types of service. Now, for all these services, there is a common examination called UPSC CSE. Right? The thing which you are trying to achieve is not a normal thing, is not at all a normal exam. You are going to start with an holy task. Why I am telling this as holy task? Because the word holy we will be associating with God. Generally, we will be using the word God to serve the mankind. Means God is the one who will be helping others. Now, with this exam, you are planning to serve the society. That's why I am naming this as holy task. Right? So, for the next 1 year or the next 2 years, what you are going to do with respect to this, if anyone asks, tell them clearly that I am going to serve my society, I am going to serve my country, I am going to make my mother India respectable. I will try to achieve the goals of our India. I will try to eliminate poverty in the country. I will try to bring development in the country as per the goals of the state government and the central government. Right? So, these are the things you can do with respect to your Union Public Service Commission. And the most coveted service among all these services generally which we will be speaking is about IAS, Indian Administrative Service. Now, these will be working, initially will be working as collectors in different district collectors, then secretary level, joint secretary, under secretary, deputy secretary, you will be cabinet secretary level, you will be rolling with number of positions, right? So, this entire country is functioning only because of these civil services. Because we know in our country, every 5 years there will be elections. In that elections, we will be electing some politicians as part of our executive. Now, they might not have the subject knowledge. They are not well matured with respect to the public affairs. You are the people who are preparing for this exam will gain lot of knowledge in this coming 1 year or coming 2 years. You will be utilizing those knowledge in administration of the country. That's why UPSC will be taking lot of care while selecting the people. In that sense, it had designed exam pattern in such a manner that it will be able to get the best of the best. Not just the best, the highest cream in the India. Right? And to say such a cream that even there are many instances, many people who had left their high paying jobs, in fact 1.5 crore job per annum, 2 crore job per annum, they had left those jobs and came to prepare for civil services and they became IAS officers. For example, to take just a case, Kanisha Kataria, 2018 group rank 1. Earlier he used to work in South Korea in Samsung company with a pay of around 1.5 crore. He left that job and he came to India to serve the society. Similarly, even in Andhra Pradesh also we have examples of him and Weightage. These are just, I am telling small examples, but there are many more people that leaving aside the money aspect, they came and they want to serve our mother India. Right? And I hope now if you are watching this video, or else if you are trying to prepare for the exam, it means that you are going to do some good to the society. Right? So, as I mentioned earlier, UPSC had designed this exam in a very difficult manner and in fact in a very well manner. Once for 5 minutes, we will be going through the process of the examination once. This exam has been divided into 3 stages. Right, prelims, mains, interview. Now, from the very beginning, we cannot look at these 3 things in an watertight compartmental manner. You have to look at all the 3 things in an integrated manner, because there is there is intermingling of the subjectual knowledge, everything with respect to these three things. Okay. Once briefly, if you have to go to the pattern of the examination, in prelims, you will be having two papers. Paper 1 is general studies. Paper 2 is CSAT. In general studies, you will be having dealing with the subjects like polity, economy, geography, history, science and tech, environment, current affairs of India and the world also. And in this CSAT paper, you will be dealing with quantitative aptitude, reasoning, and English comprehensions. And you will be having 100 questions in paper 1, each carrying 2 marks. So, total of 200 marks. In CSAT, you will be having 80 questions, each carrying 2.5 marks, amounting to the total of 200 marks. Right. Now, as per UPSC, the cutoff for CSAT has been fixed at 66.67, that is 1/3 of the paper. This will be fixed every year. There won't be any type of change in this cutoff. And with respect to this paper, every year it will be changing as per the this competition. For example, last year the cutoff for 200 for general category is around 88. Before year the cutoff is 78. That before year the cutoff is around 90. Earlier we used to have cutoffs of around 95, 100, 106 also. So it changes with respect to the competition, number of applications, number of vacancies and difficulty level also. So generally it is said that if you score more than 100 in paper 1 and more than the 66.67 in the paper 2, you will be in a very safe position so that you can write mains examination. We will be going into the subjects. Just I am trying to build the tempo here. So, net 100 marks you have to gain with respect to this general studies in the paper or prelims. Next, coming to, and mind, even if you are scoring 150 here and if you are unable to score the 66, you won't be qualified. This is the bare minimum mark you have to get. Okay. Next, with respect to mains examination, and one more thing, this prelims exam is an objective exam. Multiple choice questions will be there. Next, coming to our mains examination, this is an descriptive exam. You have to write answers. Now, in this mains examination, you have total of 9 papers. You have essay, general studies 1, 2, 3, 4, optional, paper 1, paper 2, English, and 1 regional language paper. Right. Each paper will be carrying 250 marks, 250 into 7, 1750 marks. Yes, marks will be counted for these 7 papers only. English paper and the Telugu paper or else any regional language paper, those marks won't be counted for merit. Here the paper will be for 300 marks each, and each student must get minimum of 75 marks, that is 25% marks. Means how 66.67 is to CSAT, here 75 marks is to this English and this regional language like Telugu. Okay, so these are the things which will be counted for the final merit. And one more thing, your paper 1 marks in the prelims will be only acting as an entrance point to the mains. These marks won't be counted in the further process of the exam. Okay, and one more thing, generally prelims exam will be happening in May, June of every year, and for sure it will be happening every year because UPSC maintains an annual calendar. it will be happening every year. Why it will be happening every year? Because is that, as I mentioned earlier, India is running on the arms of civil servants. Now, if 1 year there will be stopping of recruitment, there will be lot of problems in the administration of the country. That's why there won't be any delay in this process. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these 7 papers will be having 250 marks each, amounting to 1750 marks, and there will be cutoff here also. For example, general category will be having cutoff of 730 to 750. I am telling this is only cutoff. If you are scoring just around cutoff, you cannot get final rank. This cutoff is to reach to the interview stage. Interview we will be having for 275 marks, total amounting to 2025 marks. Right, 2025 marks, and in this 2025 marks, you have to get the final score of more than 950 as per last year for general category. So, your mains marks and interview marks will be counted in your final selection. Okay, so now you might understand the importance of this mains, because your complete deciding of your rank, everything will be in your mains only. Optional, GS, SA, all these will be deciding your future. Right. So, my sincere request is that for next 1 year in the coaching and next 1 year in the exam process. Why I am saying this? Because see, every year exam will be, prelims will be happening in May, June. Later on, generally mains will be happening in August, September. For example, this year mains is from August 22nd to August 31st. Last year exam is from September 16th to September 22nd. Sorry, September 25th. Exam will be happening in around 10 days. How it will be happening is that first day, on the Saturday, you will be having essay exam in the morning. Friday. That means for if you have to say this year August 22nd, that is Friday, you will be having essay examination. On August 23rd, you will be having GS1 in the morning, and GS2 in the afternoon. Similarly, the third day, the Sunday, you will be having GS3 in the morning, GS4 in the afternoon. So, back to back, you have to write 5 examinations starting from Friday to Sunday. Then you will be having a gap of 5 days. The coming Saturday, you will be having Telugu and English paper, and coming Sunday, you will be having optional paper 1 and paper 2. Right. So, this is the process with respect to our mains examination. 1750 marks. And this is your complete thing. Means your cadre, your service, whether to get IPS or IAS, whether to be inside the list or outside the list, everything will be decided here only. Okay. So, why I am telling this before the subjectual discussion is that you need to understand the importance of all the 3 stages of the examination. Yes, for sure, if you couldn't clear prelims, you won't be able to write mains and you won't be able to go to interview. But even after clearing prelims also, if you are ill prepared with respect to these things, you can't get rank. So, from the very first day, make sure that you will be doing an integrated preparation. So, success in the first attempt is with respect to integrated preparation. Please don't look at prelims as separate and mains as separate. And to say also, see, in GS1, GS2, the same subjects which you will be dealing here, the same subjects will be present in prelims also. For example, in GS1, you will be having geography, history, society. All these things you will be dealing with in our prelims exam also. In GS2, you will be having polity, governance, social justice and international relations. In GS3, you will be having economy, science and technology, disaster management, internal security, agriculture also. And in GS4, you will be having ethics, integrity and aptitude. name of the paper is Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude. And in optional papers, there are around 20 optional, more than 20 optional. You have to choose one optional. There will be 2 papers for them. Means 250, 250, 500 marks alone is given to optional. We have some popular options like anthropology, sociology, political science, mathematics and all. You have to choose as per your comfort. And don't, one more thing, word of caution here. Optional selection. Don't be in a hurry to select your optional. See, position of everyone in their life is different. For some people, mathematics might be a easier thing. For some people, anthropology might be a easier thing. Now, if you are there, what I want to say is that every person will be having a specific aptitude with respect to one optional. Please choose optional as per your aptitude, as per your interest, because if you are choosing one optional and you are regretting later, you will lose 1 year. That is problematic. Okay. And before choosing optional, make sure whether guidance is available or not, whether material is available or not, study material is available or not, good guidance is available or not, and past trends, whether rankers are able to gain good marks with respect to these optionals or not. After looking into all these things only, look after this optional subject. And please don't go into hurry with respect to optional, that taking a decision in 1 day or 2 days. It relatively, once go through some of the subjects, read some initial 20 to 30 pages of 3 to 4 optionals, if you what of those options you are thinking about, then take the decision. Okay. If you have any dilemma with respect to this, you can reach us to our numbers. Our mentors will also be guiding you with respect to this as per your aptitude. Okay. Next, further, as I mentioned, 1750 marks are with mains itself. So then in that case, we have to try to maximize our marks with respect to mains. So what we have to do so that we can maximize our marks with respect to mains? Obviously, it is a descriptive examination. The UPSC or the evaluator of the paper won't be knowing whether we had prepared for 5 years or 10 years or 1 year. He will be knowing our preparation only with respect to our answer paper. Means only your answers will decide your future. So next important thing is your answer writing. Of course, you shouldn't start answer writing from the initial days itself. At least make sure that some 20 to 30% or else at least 20% of the syllabus is completed. So it takes around 1 month, 1.5 months. Then you will be having better interlinkages. Then you can go with this answer writing. Okay. And one more important thing after this are current affairs. And current affairs is my domain. So these are the things which you have to understand before joining any coaching, or else the major things you have to thought upon before starting your UPSC preparation. Any doubts until now, or else if you want anything with respect to UPSC preparation, or else you have any specific doubts, you can ask me in the comment box. If you have anything. Yeah, here RK is asking about best scoring optional. See, as such, there is no best scoring optional in the country, because in every optional there are people who will be getting 290s, 300 plus, and people who will be just residing between 210 to 230. But as of now, since the last 5 to 6 years, what we are seeing is that anthropology is relatively getting good number of scores, good numbers, and also number of people being selected in anthropology is also getting relatively higher. But we cannot say some optional as good or bad, because it completely is an individual perspective. And as I am telling, in every optional, be it political, take the case of this year anthropology there is 299, PSIR there is 295, geography there is 295, sociology there is 298, mathematics there is 300. So every optional there will be higher people and lower scoring people also. But our comfort in that paper is the most important thing. And one more thing, guidance material. Because for this subject, as if I have to say, all the subjects, polity, economy, all the GS subjects will be like graduation subjects. But this optional subject will be like post graduation. Means we need to have some thinkers, some high level of knowledge with respect to that subject. So we need some subject expertise with respect to that. So material, proper guidance is very much essential in that optional subject. Okay. Yeah. Any more doubts, students? I will be going with the subject further if you have no doubts. Next. Yeah. And coming to the main agenda of today's meeting. How to go about current affairs and science and technology in this UPSC preparation. First, we will discuss with current affairs. This is the most misunderstood part and very much worried part. See, current affairs is very important, because in this current affairs, you will be reading about polity, you will be reading about economy, you will be reading about geography, you will be reading about disaster management, you will be reading about everything in the syllabus. Okay. Now, so what you have to do? Whether to make notes of the newspaper and all, just give me 5 minutes, I will make your life easier with respect to this current affairs. Okay. So, first, bare minimum, every student who is going to start UPSC preparation, he or she have to select one newspaper. And remember, this newspaper can be the Hindu or the Indian Express. As per your choice, and both are equally good. There are pros of both the papers, there is cons of both the papers, not at all an issue. No need to go with both the papers, just take one newspaper. Take only one newspaper. Invest initially, it will be taking some 1.5 hours, 2 hours for a student who had just started the preparation to complete newspaper, because you might not be knowing what to read and what to leave. Okay. So, but that is not the problem, because even if you are investing that time also, it will make your static subject relatively easier, because you will be knowing about the context of the things happening in the country. Okay. So, for example, you had seen some news related to parliament functioning, question hour, 0 hour and all. When you will be reading about the same topic in the static part, our subconscious mind forms linkages. It will make our understanding in an easier manner. So, studying newspaper is very much important. And our share with respect to the current affairs, exclusive current affairs in prelims and mains and interview is also very much significant. Why? Because in prelims every year you will be having around more than 20 questions directly from the newspaper. In 100 questions, more than 20 questions will be directly from the newspaper, and around some more 20 questions indirectly. Means there will be some static linkage with respect to those subjects also. So, you will be having advantage of more than 50 marks if you are able to have a grip over the newspaper. And obviously, you can have a doubt that how we have to read this each and everything, whether to make notes. And my sincere suggestion is, no need to make notes, because many institutions like us are working hard to make monthly magazines. So, after newspaper, what you can do is, you can rely on one popular monthly magazine. Rely on one popular monthly magazine. That is also of your choice. So, what I suggest you is that once you are reading the newspaper, rather than making notes, just make the points. Like for example, if India-Australia relations is in news, or else A question hour of Parliament is in use. Just in your notepad or in your digital notes or soft hard notes, just write question hour. Now, once at the end of the month, once you will be reading with this monthly magazine, already there that same issue will be mentioned in this monthly magazine. So already it will be covered. No need to waste your time with respect to that. Why I am asking to write that? Because you will be knowing what you had read. And one more thing, if any of the things you had noted is not covered in these monthly magazines, you can just make notes of those things. So 80% to 90% of your work will be reduced with that. Right? So it will save a lot of your time. See, clearing the exam in first attempt requires your hard work, and along with that lot of smart work also. That means you have to save your time. Just delegate those note making with respect to current affairs to some institute. They will be giving, no, they are doing lot of work. So you can rely on them. And once you will be reading with the newspaper, read this monthly magazine. For example, take next is July. From July 1st to July 31st, you will be reading the newspaper daily. You will be noting down just the important thing. I mean to say, just the headings. After that, generally, popular magazines will be coming, if it is July, August, from August 15th, you will be getting the popular magazines. Select one popular magazine, and my sincere suggestion is to allot 2 days of every month completely to one monthly magazine. Means, for example, if the magazine will be released on August 16th, allot 17th and 18th to that magazine. Sit and complete that. Don't keep any extra baggage to later, because once you will be going into prelims mode from January, later January, you will be a lot of burden. You won't be able to cover these current affairs at that time. If you are doing from this, from now only, your lot of work will be reduced. For sure, you can clear the exam in the first attempt itself. Okay, please understand the reason which I am telling behind this. Okay, so what I told you, read the newspaper daily, just make the headings and rely on the monthly magazine. Allot 2 days every month to this monthly magazine, complete it, then and there. Okay, now you will be highlighting in that monthly magazine and all. Later on, generally what people will be doing is that if they will be not reading this monthly magazine, and they will be going with respect to yearly magazine, yearly compilations. Now, since you are starting now, my sincere suggestion is to don't go with this yearly compilations, because at the last yearly compilation will be coming just 2 to 3 months before the prelims examination. You will be lot of burden with respect to this. So the same things which are there in monthly magazine, those will be repeated in these yearly magazines. If you are covering these properly, no need to rely on these yearly magazines. Okay, so newspaper, monthly magazine. And one more small suggestion I would be giving here is that after reading the newspaper, in the night, while you will be having dinner or post dinner before going to sleep, just open a website of some popular institutes in the country. 1 or 2 websites, at least one website. Every institute, Vishnu IAS, Vishnu IAS, Vajiram, everyone will be making crisp summary of that day's current affairs articles. Already you might have read 60 to 70% of the important articles of that day. That means you might have read Hindu and all. But you can't read the things in Indian Express, Mint, Economic Times, Down to Earth, different newspapers. These institutes will also be making summary of those things also. So at max you will be having 3 more articles, 2 to 3 more articles which you have to see. While going to dinner, just go through them and once again revise the things which you had read in the newspaper. So it will be taking maximum of website visit. It will take maximum of 15 to 20 minutes. Initially it might take half an hour. Okay. So, and along with this monthly magazine, your complete current affairs is sorted. Not at all an issue. No need to fear, and please don't worry with respect to any FOMO. Okay. one more thing you have to do with respect to the current affairs is that I would be suggesting you to make one type of notes, not the notes of current affairs, but from the newspaper you need to make one notes which I will be calling as Genie Book. I suggest you to maintain one Genie Book. As the name itself says, Genie. Generally, Genie is what it will be giving us what we needed. Now, in the mains, there will be some things which will be giving us additional marks. Generally, we will be calling them as value addition. For example, if you are writing one answer, if you can add some data related to that. For example, you are writing an answer with respect to problems of agriculture in the country. Say one of the point is that due to increased indebtedness in the country, there is increasing number of suicides in the country, farmer suicides in the country. Now, to add value to that point, what you have to do? In that immediately after that point, you can write, for example, in India, for every day 4 farmers are committing suicide as per agricultural census 2015-16. Okay, this data point will be adding value to your answer. So what I am suggesting is that maintain one Genie Book. Now how should be this Genie Book? This Genie Book should be such that look into the mains syllabus GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 and sub syllabus subheadings like communalism, secularism, agriculture, land reforms, food processing. Allot 2 pages for everything. Take 100 pages or 200 pages book, allot 2 pages for every syllabus point. Whenever in the newspaper, you will be reading about something with respect to that. Any food processing related data, any good example, any scheme. For example, you had read about PM Janman scheme related to particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Add that in the society tribals thing in your notepad. If you are reading something related to say inflation related data, or else impact of world patterns on country, any graphs related to that, any schemes related to that, any good examples, any good case studies. For example, Andhra Pradesh government had started with WhatsApp governance. You can add that as a very good example with respect to e-governance. E-governance is an important topic. Every year we will be getting one question in our governance topic of GS2. Now, if you are adding that current affairs example to that answer, it will be adding lot of weightage to our answer. So, what I am suggesting is that just maintain this Genie Book. Now, what it happens? Mana answers ki, pakkavan answers ki, akkad mana difference chupinchagalam. These answers will give difference with respect to others' answers because your answers will be unique. Because you with your hand you have done this. You hadn't delegated this work to any other institute. You with your hand you have done this. And one more thing, at last you will be investing lot of time with respect to this. Now from the very beginning, if you are able to do this, it will save lot of your time in the last. And as I mentioned earlier, don't look at the prelims, mains, interview in a separate manner. Prepare it in an integrated manner only. Okay, so this will be sorting your duty with respect to your current affairs and the value additions. Select some good case studies and add them in as per the syllabus point. Okay, for example, Telangana government had given the contract of stitching uniforms of the government school children to Dwakra women of Telangana. This is very good example of self-help groups. Mahila Sadhikarata, women empowerment ki, this is very greater example. Okay, you can add that example in your Genie Book. This adds a lot of value to your answer. Right? So, I am expecting bare minimum you have to do these things. This is the thing you have to do with respect to current affairs. And if you are joining Vishnu as general study student, for current affairs, what we will be doing is that, I have to tell that also, every day you will be having daily newspaper analysis of half an hour to 40 minutes. Either Vishnu sir or me or Soumya madam, one of our faculties will be taking daily your newspaper analysis. Means what to read, what not to read, and what are the major issues going on in the country. We will be covering them. Next, you will be getting monthly magazine every month. You will be having weekly current. Every day you will be having daily newspaper classes. In the weekend, on the Saturday evening, you will be having weekly current affairs class. Means important mains related things what had happened in the last 1 week. At the end of the month, you will be having a monthly magazine. And once we will be entering our prelims phase, that is January of next year. Since this is 2025, ideally you should be starting your prelims preparation from January 2026. At that time, we will be having revision classes with respect to current affairs. Around 30 to 40 hours of exclusive current affairs classes will be there. In those current affairs classes, we will be revising all the current affairs which had happened in the last 1 year. So, in this manner, we had planned your current affair preparation and structured way. There will be daily classes, there will be weekly class, there will be monthly magazine, and there will be revision of all these things. Okay. So, this is the thing with respect to current affairs. Any doubts with respect to current affairs, you can ask in the comment box. Any doubts with respect to current affairs, you can ask in the comment box. Yeah. Then, we'll start with science and technology part. See, science and technology, there is a current aspect in this subject and dynamic aspect in this subject. Means current, static aspect in the subject. As part of this science and technology, we will be having classes of around 40 to 45 hours. In these 40 to 45 hours, I will be trying to complete your complete science and technology syllabus in a very lucid manner, and along with that, you will be getting handouts which are self-sufficient. You need not buy any single book for science and technology other than the Vishnu IAS material. For every topic, as per the previous year questions, as per the exam orientedness, you will be getting handout for each and every topic. For example, I had divided the science and technology into 14 chapters, and for every chapter you will be getting one handout, 14 handouts, and along with that you will be having add-on current affairs. For example, you will be having science and technology handout 1 with respect to space technology. All the basics, all the static part with respect to space technology will be dealt in that handout and in the class. Next, you will be having science and technology current handout. Next, number 3, you will be having defense technology static handout. Number 4, you will be having defense technology static part and current affairs handout. In the same manner, there are 14, I had divided the syllabus into 14 parts. You will be getting 14 handouts of static part and 14 handouts of current affairs. And for sure, say in the market, you will be having Lakshmikant for polity, Spectrum for modern history, Vivek Singh or other books for economy, but there is no single material with respect to science and technology. But we will solve that problem. For science and technology, you need not rely on any other thing. You can completely depend on our material because it is very well curated as per the previous year questions, as per the exam orientedness. Okay, these are the things I have to tell with respect to science and technology, and the subject matter of science and technology will be such that you will be having some major subjects like information and communication technology. In that, we will be dealing with communication, satellite communication, radio field communication. Space technology, we will be dealing with the satellites, orbits. Defense technology, we will be dealing with missiles. Emerging technologies like quantum computing, artificial intelligence, nuclear technology about nuclear fusion, biotechnology, this vaccine formulations, the spread of diseases, this gene therapy, 3-parent baby, all the biotechnology related things. In this manner, there will be different chapters in the science and technology. We will be covering all of them in a very detailed and lucid manner. Okay. Next, any doubts with respect to your preparation or anything you want to ask me? And once, if I have to talk about the weightage of science and technology, in prelims, you will be having around on an average 12 to 13 questions out of 100 questions from science and technology. And in mains, you will be having around 50 marks in GS3, General Studies 3 paper. Okay, so this is the subject weightage with respect to science and technology in prelims and mains, but this is very much high with respect to other, means relatively a good number with respect to prelims, other subjects, and mains. You might have you might feel that 50 marks is very less, but the knowledge of science and technology is interdisciplinary. You have to use that knowledge in all the subjects, in economy, agriculture, internal security, governance. You have to use the knowledge of science and technology paper across all the subjects. Okay, so reading that subject is very much important. It will be giving you additional marks in other papers also. Okay, this is the thing I have to tell with respect to science and technology. We can end our session now. Thank you for your time.